how did you come to be at Devil's Due? What was the process and kind of like getting Devil's Due to be interested in you as a creator? When it comes to like getting your books on, because you have a lot of books there.
Sure.
How did that relationship get formed?
Yeah, I think it was the same case with both Devil's Due as well as with SourcePoint Press. With both publishers that I've worked with or work with, in the sense that they see me out there grinding, and even with Image Comics back in the day, it was just about grinding, Nowadays, when you're doing creator-owned books, I think the situation is very different. A lot of people, and I talk about this in Right or Wrong. I'm doing another Right or Wrong volume, hopefully in February 2020. I just said that on record, so I'm really gonna make sure it happens. Is that a lot of creators, when they're getting started, they really look for a publisher to do the work for them. And it's like, oh, I'm doing this book, Cosa Nostra, and now I'm a publisher, now I'm validated. That's not what it's about. The question is, the publisher will help give you the opportunity to do some of the legwork for you to get your book out there. But I think what a lot of publishers want now,
You do the work and build a fan base.
Right, you do the work, do the fan base, and then they will help you amplify your effort.
Of course.
And it was like that with Devil's Due, it was like that with SourcePoint Press. I mean, SourcePoint Press does, again, 30, 35 conventions a year. Going to Devil's Due from Image, they had the infrastructure to allow me to do the Kickstarter route. At the time, that was not something I was going to get a lot of support with from Image. Yeah. And again, that's not a diss on Image at all, but that was not their model.
Yeah.
Their model was they put out the book and you go do the work. I needed someone to help me with that Kickstarter model. And when I talked to Josh Blaylock, he was very invested in that idea and he believed in it and he knew my grind. He saw me out there all the time and he goes, yeah, this guy will be, we'll make a run at this. And, by the time I really started rolling on those Kickstarters, he just, they were able to support doing the little bit of stuff that maybe I didn't have the time or the expertise to do. Then working with SourcePoint Press, again, their convention presence is massive. It's unprecedented.
They're doing 35 shows a year. That's the show pretty much every weekend, every other weekend.
Right. And they probably do more than that even. I might be lowballing them because SourcePoint now is such a team that they'll do 2 or 3 conventions a weekend. They send a team out here, they send a team out there, and a team out there. That's also good for me to have books on their table, but then also to have that infrastructure about, the publicity they're offering, as well as then combined with my own efforts. I'm always kind of a little bit of a lone wolf, so I'm like Batman with the Justice League, it's like, I'm there, I'm a team player, but at the same time, I got Gotham to defend, I got 13 books or whatever I have, I got to get out there to promote myself, so. And that's it, publishers, for any aspiring creators out there, the big thing you have to realize is a publisher may like your work, but they're also going to want to look at what's your social media footprint. Yeah. Are you out there doing conventions? How do you talk to people? Before, back in the day, going full circle in a sense, before I could afford to do conventions as much as I do, because my conventions are all supported in my work now, MySpace made my career. Mm-hmm. Social media, people are like, what's a MySpace? Like, watch Iron Man 1. There's a MySpace reference, how far we've come. But then now it's been like Facebook and things like that, those social media platforms and getting out there and making people aware of your work in a non-spammy way and then parlaying that into, investing a little money in yourself. When I got started, and I'm never shy about talking about this, I worked 2 jobs when I started comics, not including comics. Yeah. I had my day job. Then I had an evening job. The evening job funded my comic book work. And people would ask me all the time, Dirk, what was the greatest moment of your life? What was and your knee-jerk reaction is always when you get your first book published. Mm. But I realized that wasn't it. It was when I realized that I could quit my second job because the comics were paying for themselves. And doing that and being out there and doing the work, to maintaining a social media presence where I'm not using social media as a pathological need for attention. Yeah.
You're doing it as a marketing tool to get your brand growth and
exactly.
And that stuff is super important.
Exactly. And that's and that allows you to then negotiate, maybe not from a position of power, but a position of equity with publishers. I know what I do and I know what I'm worth. And that's given me the point. And I know the impact I can have in sales. So that allows me to take a book like Cosa Nostra, which is a black and white ink washed supernatural mafia book, and say, this book is going to happen. Would you like to join forces to get it out there and make some money on it too? But that's 10 years in the making. The first thing is you build your brand on social media. I
Yeah.
wish I would have had social media when I started to the extent we have it now. Get on the road, do regional shows, get out there, learn to pitch your books, learn to talk to people. It's not about buying editors' drinks.
Mm-hmm.
It's about doing the work and letting people know you do the work. And when people think of Dirk Manning, I want them to think of that's the guy that does really cool creator-owned books. Most of them are kind of scary. Even the one about the superhero is pretty horrifying, but building that brand so that you can then go to a publisher and they'll say, hey, I've heard of you.